look like it's recording?
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
All right, so we watched the Zatoichi movie.
Yes.
I hope you guys aren't getting tired of them.
Never.
Sick of them.
Never.
There's only 25 of them.
Only.
We've got
Only?
like
No,
4
unironically,
down.
only. I felt like there was only 10, but I'm
No,
probably
there literally
thinking
is
of the-
25 of these
yeah,
movies.
very good. I think I'm probably thinking of the Lone Wolf and Cub.
Lone Wolf and Cub, there's 6 movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
And I guess before we get too heavy into it, that was something I was thinking about when we were watching them, is that you get like 6 Saw movies and you're tired of it after the second one. I
Yes.
can watch easily 25 Zatoichi films.
Yeah.
And not, yeah, without any irony
I feel
whatsoever.
like that should be your next contest. Stay up for all 25 Zatoichi.
Yeah.
it
Do
would
a
not
live
be
stream.
hard. Would not be hard.
If you
honestly.
fail, we'll crucify you.
Yeah.
Roman style.
As I
Yeah.
deserve. But I did find it another classic Zatoichi joint.
Yeah, so this is from 1965. Shintaro Katsu plays Zatoichi, blind swordsman, gambler, traveler,
Masseuse.
masseur.
You guys know this story already.
Yeah, if you're fans of our
Zatoichi.
show,
Yep.
you're fans of Zatoichi. Before we get going, let's do this shots of vodka.
Okay, shots of vodka, camera person.
Yeah,
Camera.
Camel Lady. Cheers. 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 Not bad.
Chilled glass.
Not bad.
Chilled glass.
So yeah, it's another. It is very much a spaghetti western kind of setup. I mean, he's the traveling, he's the Ronin, traveling gunslinger.
I did notice more of the Western music in this movie.
Yes, the guitar.
Yeah.
It's a lot of the almost flamenco kind of guitar. It's
That
very
did
spaghetti
kind of
western.
set that kind of theme up. I agree.
Yeah, but they're all like this. Travels in, but this is a town he had been to years ago. This is where he had learned to be a massage artist, a man of the massage.
Oh, I was saying it was a sword dude.
No, not his sword teacher. There's another movie about his sword teacher.
Sick.
This is about his, who taught him how to massage. So he gets in this town, finds out he's dead, finds out that the man's daughter has been basically sold into bondage to a brothel, and she's
Hard times.
hard times in feudal Japan, and she's refusing to perform as a sex slave. Good for her. So she's being beaten and locked in a cell.
Not paying her dad's debt.
No, not paying off the debt. Even though we find out that he was basically set up to put her in that debt so they could take her. Basically, is the idea. So you've got a corrupt magistrate, head of the town. He's in ties with the local yakuza boss, and they just sort of. They're running the town. They're running the brothel. They're stealing tax money.
I mean, it seems like they had it pretty good till Zatoichi came back in and
That's what
started
always.
messing things up.
That's what happens. Zatoichi comes to town, fucks up all your evil plans.
Yo.
He doesn't even mean to. It's like an accident. He stumbles into it.
Let's go check out my old masseuse teacher.
He eats some udon with mustard, and suddenly he finds out all the troubles of the town.
So
Yeah.
what is udon? It looked like
It was
Cut
Edon.
beans.
It wasn't Udon. Was it Edon?
udon.
I think it was like a boiled root.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't udon noodles. You're right. It was something else. It was like a.
Yeah.
I think it's like a radish or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wanted that mustard on it.
But the mustard looked
Too
good.
much mustard, and there's always 1 or 2 blind jokes mixed in. You know, it'll make your eyes.
I love it when he makes blind jokes about himself. But yeah, Zatoichi. He's just. I've said before, he's one of my favorite characters. He's kind of a happy-go-lucky guy. He travels around. He loves eating food. He loves gambling. And then sometimes he's got to kill a bunch of people because they're either trying to kill him or they're fucking with some other people, and he just can't take it. You know, so that's the thing. Um, one of the things that happens in the story, we meet this guy. He does dice, right? So he has a little girl with him. She's like 11 years old, and he's working for the Yakuza boss. And what was his name? Something the Weasel.
Yeah.
But
Sly the Weasel.
yeah, he's basically he can use sleight of hand to cheat at dice. There's a great scene where Zatoichi is in the gambling den and he's making a lot of money, and Yakuza are getting pissed. So they bring in the Weasel. He's already become friends with this guy and his daughter, and
He knew he was a weasel by his arm.
Yeah, he was able to massage. He's like,
Yeah.
I can guess your trade, and he's
Yeah.
massaging him. He's like, you don't walk around at daytime a lot and everything like that. You make your money by sleight of hand. Guy gets sort of offended, but ends up being like, listen, come around to the dice hall around
Yeah.
noon. I'll make you a rich man.
I guess Zatoichi shut up early. It's like, I'm gonna make even more money. But when he does that, this samurai shows up who's hired on by the local boss, and he says, how about you put your cane up for this bet? I'll bet 100 Rio against you, which is like $10,000. It's a lot of money. I don't know what it would be, but it's a lot of money. And
Pre-inflation.
he takes the pre-inflation. And so he comes in, he's doing his thing, and I love these scenes in these movies because there's a lot of these kind of gambling scenes where he catches these people cheating. So, Zatoichi calls odds, the cup comes up even, and then Zatoichi, his sword flashes out, and they're like, what the fuck happened? And then he puts his sword back. And they're like, looks like we won.
It's worthless now.
Okay. You see the cup collapses, and you see the dice come up odd in the sake cup.
Yeah.
So Zatoichi could hear how the dice roll, and he could sense that the dice had been put in the sake cup, in the big cup. And I love that scene. I mean, these movies it is like power fantasy, but there's something about the disabled guy that just surprises people all the time that it's so satisfying.
They think they can
You're like,
take
it's so-
advantage of him. They do it in every
Right,
movie.
they
There's
try
always
to.
an example
Yeah.
of some sort of put the cup. They're fooling visible people that can see all the time.
You
They
think
that
word
they
would have
can-
gotten around about this guy?
Well, and it's crazy because it does. That's one of the first scenes is that they talk about these guys who try to ambush him. Talk about how he had destroyed a whole city, he had cut down the shogunate and everything like that.
Yeah.
And but no, we're gonna try and just sneak some dice and switch them up real quick.
Yeah.
And I think at the end of that scene where he's like, "Did the dice in the cup of sake turn out odd?" Because
Yes.
he knows he's asking it rhetorically because
Yeah.
he knew. Yeah.
It's like, you owe me $100. They're like, fuck you. And he's like, I guess I'm gonna take it. So he takes the money, and then they chase him out in the street. He kills him in classic Zatoichi. One cut per goon. They go down, and it's his patented backhand, super fast style, which they've refined down really well through the movies, where he's so much faster and more sure about his movements now and later in the movies. But yeah,
This one did seem like it had less just constant slaying of men
yeah,
and more of it kind of building up to the last scene.
yeah, building out the story. Yeah,
A lot of beating of women in this one too.
There was a lot of
caught your attention.
Brothel
Women beating in this movie.
beatings. Yeah, they had these women in like little jail cells and giving them only a bowl of rice to eat. Non-performing women.
What else in this movie did I enjoy?
Yeah, give me a scene you really liked. Nick.
Talk amongst yourselves, Nick. I'm trying to think of a scene I rather enjoyed.
Well, there's a scene. I mean, there's a great scene where Zatoichi is walking with the little girl, the girl of the the gambler, the dice man, and they're taking a walk out in the kind of the forest or whatever, and she starts singing a song, and the samurai, the guy that's with the boss, he's like watching him, and he has a guy go and attack Zatoichi as they're walking, and the girl's holding the cane, so she's walking in front of him, holding his cane to kind of guide him.
Yeah.
And he's basically holding the grip of his sword.
Yeah.
And he hears the guy running up behind him and just immediately takes it, spins, cuts the guy, and then puts it back into the cane. And the girl's like, "What happened?" And he steps in front of her. He's like, "Just don't look."
Yeah, don't even look back. It's
There's a corpse just right there in the road that he cut. And it's such a good scene.
One of my favorite scenes was when after the Yakuza boss and then the magistrate had the whole town being swept.
Yeah.
But he was Zatoichi was already in that house or whatever.
Yeah.
And he just comes
Classic.
out. And then he's like, "Let me massage you." And he's
Yeah,
just,
he
like,
confronts the
crying.
magistrate and the boss right there. He's like, "You should be thanking me. I saved you all the trouble trying to find me."
Yeah, 'cause they bust in the room talking about we have to find this rat, and he just comes out of a hallway talking about let me save you the trouble.
And that's kind of the build up to the end where he's got them. They've tried to frame him for a murder of this tax collector, and so they're trying to arrest him. They've got the whole town out trying to find him, and he's right there. So he gets all the papers of all the women that they've enslaved, basically. Stuffs the papers in their mouths and says, "All right, we're going out," and basically parades them out into town, in the middle of town, where he gets surrounded by 100 dudes, and then it's the classic Zatoichi final fight.
Jukebox is gone.
Well, and it is classic because there's always a scene where he's just surrounded by a ton of dudes.
Yeah.
That anytime he takes a step left or right, like they always flinch back and forth. They always have to take a step back because his reputation precedes him.
And it's really in this whole it's so well shot. Everything, the way you'll see sometimes the camera's up above and you can see how they're coming around, and sometimes it's in a side corridor and you're looking through these kind of slats. And there's a guy creeping up on him trying to stab him to the wall as Zatoichi gets him first. These kind of things. They choreograph it really well. There's always these fast movements, and it might be slightly obscured, but you can always tell what's going on. How they set every scene up, every fight scene.
I would like to set a scene up something similar to that.
Yeah.
Well choreographed, fast movements.
Yeah.
One strikes.
One strike.
Yeah.
One strike defeats. That would be probably pretty difficult to
One
do.
strike to the nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would imagine that would be. You'd have to have some pretty good cinematography at hand.
Yeah.
One day.
Yeah, one day it might happen.
One day.
But yeah, he chases these guys through the town, killing the dudes, and then finally parades them in front of. He gets the guy, the gambler guy, and his daughter to free the women, and as they're escaping, he's like, he's got the two villains. Brings them in front of everybody and just fucking kills them in front of the women, just to let them know, there you go.
There you go. Yeah.
It's done now. They're all fucking dead.
Right.
I liked how the gambler was trying to match Zatoichi.
Yeah, he was trying to do his own version of that. It was kind of funny.
It's funny because I've done it in the work parking lot. No, look, he does it like this. He feels around. And then he does it like this. I've done. I can relate to the gambler. It should be mentioned that the samurai that he ends up meeting with at the bar, and sharing a drink with, and he's like, "When do we settle this?"
Yeah, sundown on the bridge.
That first of all, that samurai's a punk.
Yeah, he's a little bitch. Definitely.
But that's a samurai that kills his old masseuse master. So it does thematically draw you to the conclusion where it's the film is called Zatoichi's Revenge, and he gets the revenge on the guy who killed, because he's sitting on the back of the cart, and that's always funny. this blind man's just getting carted around with 2 bowls of rice, and he's eating them up. You know, like he's just talking about how much he loves his son. He's eating rice. You know,
He just loves life so much, and he gets forced to kill people.
he gets forced. Yeah,
What was that thing? A little donut thing. You said it was like a medicine holder?
It was like a bell thing, yeah, that his master had. And, well, no. It
he was
was a
the owner
bell
of the
that.
candy shop, right?
No.
No.
It's his master got killed. He grabbed the thing from the killer,
Right.
and he was like, "It looks like something."
Yeah, it was a bell thing that he was able to. I kind of identify who the guy was with it, lure him in. But yeah, Zatoichi.
Zatoichi's Revenge. It's an amazing film, honestly. Like, it does follow a lot of spaghetti western sort of class. I can't say follow because it seems to precede a lot of the films that like Grandpa watched.
Well, yeah, 60s. So that was the spaghetti western era,
That's
right?
it there.
But
Yeah.
it, you know,
So they were all borrowing from each other, but Japanese definitely are big fans of spaghetti westerns, and you can see that.
it followed that template. I would honestly watch 25 Zatoichi films before watching 25 spaghetti westerns.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I enjoy a good, but like this is just the way they film it, the cinematography, the storylines and everything. There was a lot of build up, but it wasn't like you were sitting there just like, it was all very interesting. And there was always a goon or two to get cut down in the middle, you know.
Zatoichi just carries it. His personality, the way he fucking laughs, the way he fucking gets mad and then just says,
I just want
I gotta fucking kill some people.
where everything goes good.
Yeah, Zatoichi's vacation.
Yeah, pretty much.
Zatoichi's Christmas vacation.
Everything goes great for him. He doesn't have to kill anybody.
He gets a girl.
He gets a girl. He wins some money.
I mean, he's got women throwing themselves at him all the time. He's like, I can't.
Yeah, I'm out of here.
I'm no good for you. I have to leave. I can't do it.
Well, that actually brings me to a good point too. Is that his identity as a masseuse always gets him to where he's finding out information. He always ends up rubbing the back of a mob boss.
Right, yeah.
And then they're telling him, yeah, you know, we just happen to collect all the taxes from this town.
And I love it because almost every time he's giving a massage to those people and he's listening to them talk about their fucking evil deeds, and he just like he gets more and more aggressive with it, and they're like, ow, fuck, what kind of fucking masseuse are you? And he's just like, oh no, just hold on, that'll be good. You know, he's like he's working him over. The guy's like leg will seize up, you know, or whatever. And he's like, no, you'll be good, you'll be fine.
Maybe
you know?
that's his secret to winning. He does that to the main villains the day before, and they're so sore the next day. They can't fight them.
Yeah, he fucked up their muscles. Yeah.
That final fight scene where he's just fighting through the city. He doesn't cut any candles out or anything. You know, it's a lit city, but I do think it was really because, you know, the magistrate and the mob boss were like hiding, trying to like kind of sneak around him, but he knew. He knew exactly where they were at, you know, and at one point he's behind like the blocks and everything like that, but it's like, that's nothing. You can watch these movies and understand that it doesn't matter how bad it gets. He's turning it around and he's just cutting down goons. Absolutely love it.
And of course, at the end, the girl that he saves, she wants to meet him at the grave of her father, and he says, "Yes, of course, I'll meet you." And then he doesn't.
Yeah, he's gone. He hears them hollering for him, and he's just gone. Sad
scene. The girl and the woman, they're all shouting for Zatoichi, and he's just sitting there like, may the sun bring them happiness, and he walks away to another adventure.
Another just blind masseuse just finding himself into all sorts of trouble.
He's living the life.
Yeah,
he figured it out. Let's go to scores.
Yeah.
Well, this is a 5 for me, definitely. It's another great Zatoichi movie. I love how there's this just kind of even pace throughout, but there's always like it's actually well written plot. You're stuck to what's developing over time, and there's always a little thing that's propelling you forward into this story.
You don't want to miss a second.
It's these are so well done, and I don't know why it's so goddamn impossible for people to make good movies anymore.
We got Marvel to worry.
Yeah, it's like movie by committee or some shit. Garbage. It's terrible. Where are these writers at? These people exist. They existed.
Speaking
Return
of
to
which,
tradition.
they are making a prequel to X about what the lady did.
Oh, the old lady.
Oh, I was
Okay.
like X-Men?
Okay.
Like, no,
That's
X.
what I
Wow.
assume. That's what it's about.
Well, we'll definitely watch that when
Yeah.
the time comes.
Yeah.
All right. What do you think, Nick?
Oh, easy 5.
Yeah.
Easy 5 beans out of 5. I mean,
5
5
beans.
buckets.
Wrong show.
Sorry. Yeah, 5 buckets.
5 beans would be like god tier score.
Yeah.
There's-
Well,
you
all
can't-
of
it's not
Zatoichi
possible.
films
Your
would get
mind
5
would
beans.
explode.
Yeah.
No, that's just fine.
You
Tell
would
Dave about it.
spontaneously orgasm for eternity if you
Tell
had
the crosstown bean I said it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 5 buckets for me. I haven't seen a Zatoichi film yet that I haven't just absolutely been at the edge of my seat for. It's a good film.
Yeah.
The writing is good. The cinematography is good. You feel really endeared to the character from the first one.
Yeah.
Whether you start at 4 or whatever, it's an excellent film. Love it.
Well, I guess I'm gonna rape a dead horse here, like everybody else.
Rape the dead horse. Okay.
All right. No, it's a good story. Great story. I love the character on it. I'm gonna give it a 5 as well. Good story. Like seeing this. Just one of these movies has got to be just a good day. Just a good day. No problems. That's what I want. And if it's not in the series, I'm gonna put up a GoFundMe to make that.
Zatoichi's Good Day.
Yeah. Because I want it to happen.
Exactly what the fans want.
Yeah, he deserves it.
Just gets to
After
eat a bunch of
25
rice, gets to gamble without any
Yes.
bullshit, you know.
Gets his dick sucked all
Yes.
day.
He gets to
Every
turn
day.
a massage into a massage he wants.
Yeah.
Not to get some insider info on a Yakuza.
No one steals his cane.
Yeah. That's what I want. But yeah, 5.
There you go. 5's all around.
Go watch Zatoichi's Revenge.
Yeah.
My nuts have yet to be punched.
Yeah, who knows when that'll happen.
Who knows when that'll happen? It could be today, it could be tomorrow.
Could be tomorrow. Probably won't.
If the beautiful woman can hit the stop button on the phone, that'd be
Stood that
perfect.
bread.